And this is Maginoni, and here's my reaction to DC's Rebirth. Now, for those of you who don't know, which I have a feeling most of you probably already do, this is DC's way of reinventing themselves into something that they feel is a way that they can now market their books better. I don't think it's a secret that Marvel's been destroying DC month after month, and a lot of all of the excitement, all of the promise of the new 52 is gone. I mean, I guess you can say a lot of the old time fans, some of the the newer fans have already dropped off. Old time fans are just not happy with the direction. So this is basically DC's attempt at fixing what they did. Now, right from the very beginning, Jeff Johns says that for him, Rebirth was not a brand or a marketing tool. It never has been. He says it was basically about how to approach mythology, about how to honor and celebrate the characters. Now, personally, I think that statement is a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. Now, if you can imagine this, you're in a boardroom somewhere or meeting room, and somebody's going around, hey, we need to do something to increase sales. What are we going to do? Somebody goes, hey, how about we do something like Marvel's All New, All Different, where we change things up a little bit, and we can slap number ones, we can make minor changes, and it'll be, we can generate sales. I'm sure everybody in that room would have been, yes, we can generate sales, this is what we're going to do. Not one person said, well, Rebirth isn't about increasing sales. It's about the mythology. It's about making characters great again. That person would be fired, because obviously he's not on the right page. This is 100% a brand, and this is 100% a marketing scheme. Now, for those of you who think, how is this not a brand? It's simple. If you notice, every book that's coming out, well, first of all, you have is labeled, Rebirth. So you're going to have, there's going to be a couple months where you're going to have the Rebirth issues. Some issues even have 2 issues per month, which again is for marketing. A lot of retailers are coming out saying, we really like it when you have 2 books a month, because that gives us 2 opportunities to sell a book at a lower price versus one time at a higher price point. So they're on board with twice a month. It also brings in customers multiple times versus those single once a months. So again, here's your brand, Rebirth, marketing scheme. You're labeling number ones, and you're also putting out multiple issues. So this way it generates sales traffic. Like if you have Batman selling at a certain level by let's say it sells, hypothetically speaking, 60,000 copies. If you put 2 Batman issues out there, the hope is you're now going to sell 120,000 copies. Granted, it's not the same issue, but now you have 2 issues, 2 different comics that are generating that kind of sales traffic. And also the hope is, while you're there buying Batman, you'll pick up Detective and maybe Batgirl type thing. So to make no mistake, that's what this is. Now, if you want to take a look at what Jeff Johns says about honoring, the mythology and what's making these characters great, again, this is a bunch of hogwash, because first of all, they killed or they're going to kill or get rid of Superman. The Superman that's in Action Comics is old 52, or say pre-52 Superman. He's married with a kid, which again goes against what DC was saying earlier, and even Marvel says is they don't want their heroes married because it ages them. 2, in regards to Superman, you now have 4 different Superman comic books, which is basically what they did with the Death of Superman and not the Rebirth, but when they brought the Superboy and the Terminator Superman, the Cyborg Superman, all that stuff. But anyways, here's the 4 we have. We have Lex Luthor, who's now a superhero. Since when has that been honoring the tradition of Superman, making Lex Luthor a superhero? Granted, he could be ulterior motives, he's really evil, but my point is, when has that honored tradition? You have a Chinese Superman. You have Lois Lane, who's now Superman, who's dying because she's got the Superman power. And you have Supergirl. So again, this is the reign of Superman, basically. The coming back of bringing different titles. Just so this way they can have S on this, on this. 4 chances to put S on the stands. And then again, if they put 2 issues out on some of these, then they increase their sales. Wonder Woman twice a month. Whenever has Wonder Woman warranted 2 issues a month? Oh, I don't know, when you're trying to make more money. You know, it has nothing to do with story content. You know, it's not like there's a timer on these books where they have to, you know, like you only have 6 months to tell your story. You know, that's it. So make sure you get it done. No, it's tell your story. You can do it in 6 issues because 6 issues fills a trade. You know, that's how it works. They are making big changes to the Batman universe also. Now, I don't know how some of you guys are going to feel, but like for an example, you have in Detective Comics. Detective Comics was originally a more detective-y type storyline for Batman. It wasn't always about Joker, Penguin, Riddler, people like that. It was more, you know, like I don't want to say Sherlock Holmesy because that's the wrong impression, but it was, you know, more thinking Batman, so to speak. But what they turned it into is Training Day. Hey everybody, let's throw in Batwoman. We'll throw in what's her name? Spoiler. Looks like Tim Drake's in there, and Clayface because we got to have that villain in there, so this way we can turn him good. You know, again, it's how is this going back to what made Detective Comics, you know, what it was? It's not. It's changing it. It's not honoring the history of it. You also have the All-Star Batman, which Scott Snyder is going to go to, and it's going to be various teams. New writer for Batman, which is, you know, all that's fair game. That's fine. But it's kind of funny how they're making a big deal. Or Snyder's like, well, you know, in Batman, I can't write the stories that I want to write about Batman, so he's got to go do another Batman title. It's like, just let the guy do what he wants type thing. There is big changes with Justice League. As you can see, now you have 2 Green Lanterns because 1 Green Lantern is not enough. In the Green Lantern book, you also have Hal Jordan's gone, and it's those 2, you know, the Middle Eastern gang member Green Lantern, and you have the Green Lantern from the Crime Syndicate, where the girls took the ring. So obviously we know that she's going to come out okay. Now, one thing I think that does come out kind of interesting is they're going to team up Superman's kid, Jonathan, with Damian. That actually could be kind of... I'm hoping this is going to be good in that because, you know, it's like, I think in terms of Damian, he needs something to make the character good again. I mean, for me, he was great as the wisecracking, you know, he never obeyed his elders type thing. He, you know, was very sure of himself, and he's basically, I don't understand why you're not giving me the Batman cowl right this second. So I think with Superboy, I think, you know, it's a good dynamic, and hopefully they can play a little bit off of that again, because now you're going to have again the optimistic with a lot more serious type character, or actually maybe not optimistic, maybe more naive with, you know, more rounded street character. There's going to be changes, we know, with Suicide Squad. In terms of like a reboot, I mean, Aquaman is basically starting off, well, Aquaman's here to mend the differences between the surface world and the undersea, the Atlanteans. You have Green Arrow now becoming a social justice warrior, which there was a period of time where he was a social justice warrior type. Didn't last long, but he was that. Um, I don't know. It's like overall, I can't. I mean, again, this is for me. This is basically DC going. We need to do something to combat Marvel, so we're gonna do all new, all different, and that's what Rebirth is. It's an all new, all different. They're in some cases they're making changes. Other cases they're pretty much leaving it the same. They're going to be swapping out creative teams, and they're hoping that because they're going to come out with a slew of number ones, that this is going to drive sales. This is the shocker that they finally figured out that fans really wanted to see a Titans book. The old school Teen Titans. And we finally get that. This is ridiculous. The wacky races. They have like wacky races, Scooby-Doo, Johnny Quest, but this just looks like Mad Max and nothing like wacky races. Overall, do I think this is going to succeed? No, it's not going to succeed at all. What's going to happen is you will see a spike in sales, just like New 52. But I think New 52 has left such a terrible taste in people's mouth that some people just are not going to give it the basic, we'll trust you at doing a good job. There's going to be a lot of skepticism, I think. This is DC's fans' hope that they're finally going to get books that they want to read. And in some cases, they're going to get it. And in some cases, I really do believe that they really don't know what to do. Because this is just reactionary. It's needed to be done. I can also say that because their sales are, sorely behind Marvel. And it's behind Marvel with basically books sold, market share, money, everything. It's everything that they constantly lose. The top 10 is predominantly Marvel and Marvel / Star Wars. So they have to do something. If they don't do this, then they're going to fall further behind. Now, for those of you who are going, that's a lot of money. I'm interested in doing this, but I can't buy it all. I found on Discount Comic Book Services last month, they had all the number ones for sale at a discounted price. It was like $29.99 or something like that, $95. Right now on their website, they have the second issues posted. So if you're interested in trying to get it, I would email them and seeing if you can set up an order form for the first issues, because basically you're going to get all the number ones, and it's at a great price. I'm doing it, but I'm doing it so this way it's going to be at the end of the month. I'm going to get everything. I'm not going to do every by the week. So by the week, maybe I might pick up one or two issues, but for the most part, it's all going to be at the end. And that way I can save on postage, and then I'll make it worth more money. This is the other thing I think that they're really missing the boat on. Now, they are teasing it that they're going to bring back the JSA. Should have done it. That should have been like basically a book that people can look at in this catalog, because that would have generated a lot of excitement. A lot of older DC fans want this. They don't want Earth 2. Earth 2 is not selling. But if you put JSA with a good writer, good artist, it's going to sell. That simple. That cannot be said with Earth 2. So, pretty much that's my opinions on Rebirth. It's just reactionary, and I really, like I said, Jeff Johns is lying to you when he says it. To him, it's a mythology. It's a going back to the basics. Bullshit. It's marketing. Rebranding. If it's not a rebrand, then there's no reason to put Rebirth on any of those books. If it's not marketing, there's absolutely no reason to put in number one. There's absolutely no reason to put 2 issues out when there's only one in the past. If you still want to make changes in terms of your creative teams, that's fair game. That has not. That's just the cycle of comic life. but everything else that they're doing around it, putting out this catalog alone proves that it's marketing. It's to generate sales. Because if you don't know that this is coming, you're not going to be prepared to buy them. So it's, again, marketing. Let me know what you guys are going to do with Rebirth. Are you guys on board? Are you going to be buying them all? Are you just going to go shake your head and go absolutely not? Put that in the comments below. We'll have some more videos later. Like and share. And until next time.